Hello, sir. Can
There
you
you
see me?
go. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. So I have to rejoin again and then.
There's no problem. No problem. Little technical difficulties, but everything is fine now.
Yeah. So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Yesterday, I was watching with Mrs. Lori
Okay.
from Kentucky, and that was impressive. And she asked a lot of questions. And then I was thinking, yes, that was a little bit of motivating to me. And
Okay.
the thing is that Uh, how do I know about Janpro? One of my friends who was working with me here in Labrador. By the way, I'm in Labrador City. I've been here for the past 7 years with my family.
Okay.
So now, since my girls is graduating, so I need to, move to a bigger city, Edmonton.
Okay.
So my friend moved there 1 year back, and he joined Janpro.
Okay. Good.
And since I was in touch with him, so I said, "Hey, what are you doing there?" And we both are chefs, so we worked as cook for a long time. So he said, "Yeah, I'm working with Jan Pro." I said, "What is Jan Pro?" Then that's how I came to know about Jan Pro. Then he's also a vlogger. He's vlogging things up. He's showing how he's cleaning up things. So that was a little bit motivating, and I thought that how is it going? Means you took a franchisee. How did you do it? So we used to meet up every Saturday and Sunday. He's a day off. He just takes rest on those days. Monday to Friday he works after work. You know,
Right.
he and his wife. So he makes small vlogs. So I saw his vlog. I started taking his vlog, and then at that time, then I tried to put those things into YouTube. And what is Jan Pro? What is Jan Pro? When did it established? How did it go?
Mm.
So that's how I knew. And he said it's going good. 1 year is a good time. Since it's not 1 year, it's 8 months, I think. He's been, continuously working, and he's doing good. He's doing good. He's taking like FP5.
Yes.
He is taking FP5, and he's doing good.
That's
He's doing
good.
good. So I don't have a lot of questions. I have some doubts that since I'm moving to Edmonton, maybe uh, this June 27th is my girl's graduating, and we are moving to Edmonton, maybe in the northwest, where you have this university, Mac Ewan. It's a big university, so that's where my girls want to study. And in that locality, I want to stay there for some time. Maybe
Mm.
buy a house, or maybe in a rent. You know
Hmm.
so so just guide me through the process, that being from a small place here in Labrador, it's a small place. So going to a big place, suddenly you get a lot of exposure and a lot of things. So how should I start? FP5 is the thing that I should go with it, or how should I go it?
So I always recommend FP5 only because you can always scale your business. FP5 is just allowing you to get into Jan Pro.
Okay.
Um, so and it allows you to um know whether it's going to be a right fit for you and without spending a whole lot of money. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to invest a lot of money and then it doesn't work out for you know.
Okay.
So what I always tell people, if you have a large sum of money to invest, just hold it back.
Mm-hmm.
Start at FP5, and as you grow your business, you can always use that cash flow that you have on the sideline to pay off larger contracts,
Mm-hmm.
as you build your business out.
Okay.
Um, so that is our strategy. It's been working
Mm-hmm.
well for us. As we grow and as we grow our business, we always have cash to where if we want to pay a contract off in full, we do that. So, and it helps us because you have a lot of phantom expenses, especially once you start taking on people to work for you. You're going to have to put up payroll and stuff like that. So that cash flow could be used for that type of stuff because with Jan Pro, you get paid in arrears. So, you're
Mm-hmm.
always getting paid 30 days after the service.
Yeah.
But if you have
Mm.
somebody working for you, they can't work, they can't get
They
paid
can
30
wait.
days.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
so cash flow is always great to have on the sideline to take care of that stuff, and then you can recoup that once you get paid from Jan Pro.
All right. What do you advise that since I'm new to Gen Pro, uh, should me and my wife, since it's an after work business, like in most of your videos, you said it's an after work business, like 2, 3 hours you go to a place where, your company tells you to go and then you clean up those things. So what do you advise me and my wife? My wife is already in a cleaning this thing. She's working for a big company here, Aramark. She's in housekeeping. She
Okay.
does like a 12-hour shift every day, 8 to 8,
Mm,
and it's very tiring. I know that. Every day I have to, massage her legs, and oh, I have pain here and there. So
yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
and I can have that feel, because I want to get into those things. I want to do that because I see I don't have any options there. I mean,
Mm,
I am a cook, I'm a chef. I can work for restaurants and hotels, and I've been doing this for 21 years.
mm,
And but I want to do something of my own,
that's
something
right.
I can pursue, something I can feel that this is mine, you know. So now I see my wife that, she's complaining about those pains and everything, and joint pains and everything, and I do everything, massage and everything, and then she's ready for the next day. That's how she's going up. So, but she's mentally prepared. Me and my wife are mentally prepared to do this business because this is for ourselves. So now, what do you advise? Should we do this? Uh, we start this first without keeping anybody,
That's right. So
apart from being a full time.
I always
Mhm.
recommend getting started in the business yourself
Yeah.
because it allows you to know the process
Mm.
and it allows you
Yeah.
to create systems once you start taking on people. It allows you to
Mm.
get in and know the average cleaning times for
Yeah.
facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do start taking on people, you'll be able to let them know what the man hours look like because you've been there and you've done it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a big key. And it also allows you to look at um to inspect the properties, the contracts, and to be able to look at the place like horizontal dusting and burnt, because those are going to be your biggest things. Your dusting is going to be your biggest issues. But if you're
Yeah.
never in there cleaning it yourself, you won't know what to look for. So it
Yeah.
allows you to have the proper vision in
Mm-hmm.
look in maintaining your business. So
Mm-hmm.
when you do start taking on people, you can guide them and let them know, hey, these are the things that we did in order to make our business successful, and you can give them the proper training. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't work your business, you won't be able to guide them to have a successful business. And it also allows you to develop a good customer service base with your client,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know. So you definitely that is like I preach on customer service because that is like 90% of the business is
Mm-hmm.
delivering quality customer service, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always staying engaged with your clients, always reaching out to see how everything is going, you know, and being able to handle those issues that arise.
Okay. All right, that's good. So when we take this franchisee, uh, definitely we have to go and talk to the main master franchisee
Mhm.
people there. What do they, I mean, expect? I mean, what do they expect from a person like us? Me, not from the cleaning background, but in hotels we do cleaning. But my wife is from the cleaning background. What do they expect? Like, it's not like you just throw the money, take the franchisee. What do they expect, and what do they give us in return? In return, like they give us good quality machines, and depending on the type of franchisee you take,
Yeah.
and the training, everything.
Yeah. So they're going to give you a 5 week training.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in most cities, it's 5 weeks. Some cities, it just varies in the cities. But they're
Okay.
going to give you the proper training. They're going to show you how to clean the proper way, how to do a commercial clean the Jan Pro way. So they're going to
Okay.
train you on that. That is going to be the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing is cleaning the Jan Pro way.
Okay.
Um, and then they're going to also, once you get started with the business, you will get the proper equipment to do the job.
Mm.
You'll get your vacuums, your brooms, your mops, all that comes in the starter kit. So
Okay.
you will get that.
All
And
right.
what you, so what I always tell anybody that I talk to that's thinking about getting started, you have to come up with your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a
Mm-hmm.
12-month goal and sit
Mm-hmm.
down with your master franchisee or your operations specialist and tell them what your 12-month goal is. Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in the business in 12 months? And
Mm-hmm.
and ask them how can they help you get there. You know,
Mm.
those are the things that you really want to accomplish. 12 months. If you want to make six figures in 12 months, say, hey, how can I go about making six figures in 12 months? And how are you going to help me get there? You know,
Okay. All
so
right.
so those are the things that you need to ask,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to, and you also need to let them know that, you're trying to do this full time. You're
Yes,
tired of
full
you're
time.
tired of
Mm-hmm.
working your 9 to 5, and you want to move over into something that you can create for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
build a legacy for yourself. Um, so you definitely want to stress that. You definitely want to
Mm-hmm.
stress, hey, I want to do this full time. So what can I do, or what can you do to help me get
Mm-hmm.
to get to full time status? You know.
Mm. So, sir, when you say full time, what does it actually mean? It doesn't mean 8 hour, right? Full time. When you
No, no,
say
no.
full
What
time,
what
yeah.
what I'm saying, when I say full time, I say full time as far as I'm not working a 9 to 5 anymore. I'm focused on running my business. I'm becoming a business owner. Full
Mm.
time doesn't mean that I'm putting 8 hours of labor in. It just
Mm-hmm.
means that I'm managing my business and I'm managing the people in my business. And I don't want anything else to distract me, as far as having to be on a job and having the stress of working on a job and then getting off work and coming back and doing Jam Pro for 3 and 4 hours. That is fine to get started with, but in the end game, you want to be a business owner. So you want to run a business and you want to be able to do that full time
So,
versus.
sir, is it possible that when I move to Edmonton, I can do this full time, or should I have to do a full time like a job just to run my household thing, and then after
well,
5 p.m. I should do cleaning 2 3 hours like that? How does
well,
it go?
it starts out that way. It always starts out. It always
Okay,
starts out as, you know, um, part time because you're having to build momentum in your business.
momentum. Hmm.
So you're having to build it now, whether it stays part time for a long period of time, that's completely up to you and how you service your clients. If you're doing an excellent job and you're having communication, you're having great communication, and if Jan Pro has the contracts to supply you, you
Yeah.
could be off your 9 to 5 in a few months, 6 months, 8 months. You could be doing that
Mm.
full time, but it's
All right.
solely up to you. It's solely up to it's solely up to how you want to approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some people go in and say, Jan Pro, hey, I have $50,000 to invest in the Jan Pro business
Mm-hmm.
and I want to run it full time, you know,
Okay.
and that 50,000 will give them enough to get off their 9 to 5. But it's still, like I said, it still takes time because Jan Pro still has time. You have to give Jan Pro time to get those contracts for you. So it
Yeah.
just depends on your market. It depends on how fast Jan Pro can get clients to you, and it depends
Mm-hmm.
on how you do when you start initially working with Jan Pro. You know, if they see that you're doing quality service, then they're going to offer more contracts to you, and that way
Mm-hmm.
you can grow your business faster. So
Mm-hmm.
it's solely up to you how you build it. But everything starts off like when we got started with one contract, and then I guess 2 weeks later we received another contract, and then we just momentum just kicked in. And I think I think the time that we were in Jan Pro, when we first started Jan Pro, it was a great time back in 2016 because our master franchisee hadn't been in business for about 2 years prior.
Mhm. Mhm.
So he was building momentum,
Yeah.
and we just came
Mhm.
in at a right time.
Right time. Mm.
Mhm.
So, Edmonton, the place where my friend is, it's northwest of Edmonton. I see there are already a lot of franchisee people,
Mm,
you know. So if I'm going to the same place, Jan Pro will tell me that this is not the right place. You move to Southwest and I'll give you contracts. So, you know what I'm saying? So I should move to that place. How does that go? I mean, they will tell me where to buy your
No,
house or something like that.
no, 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 no. Um, so that's one good question that you can ask your friend that's already running a Jan Pro business in the area that you're trying to move in.
Yeah,
How are the
yeah.
contracts? How are the contracts being? How often are they offering you contracts?
They have three regular contracts. Last
Okay.
time they said I have three permanent contracts, like maybe 1 year
Hmm.
contract. They are permanent. They are doing it on a daily basis. Beside that, they have other contracts. I remember maybe 9 or 10 months back when he joined Gen Pro. Uh, he was like very busy, you know, and he was like he was not sure what's going on. But
Mm,
now he's very much sure. His you know his voice has that confidence when he was
mm,
talking to me. His voice got that confidence. Brother, I didn't ask him how many contracts you have, but he said it in a in a process that brother, I have three regular contracts. So
mm,
that motivated me more, you know. So that's
mm.
okay. So you're getting it. I mean it's happening there. So that's
Yeah.
what.
And that's another question that you can ask once you sit down with your master franchisee. Just say how's your business growing?
Okay.
Is it still growing? Is there growth in your
Mm,
business? Because um bigger cities, you have a larger territory to cover. So you
yeah.
don't necessarily have to be, relocate in order to do Jan Pro. You just gotta broaden your net of where
Mm,
you're willing to travel to do business.
mm,
Um, so that's a question for your master franchisee,
yeah.
to see how large his territory is
Mhm.
and see the areas that he does service and the areas that he's looking to open up. And it should fit
Yeah. Mm,
where you're at in Edmonton, so.
mm. All right. And suppose I took this franchisee, and what type of training do they give? Like I saw in one of your videos, I heard that there are niche that people take on, like carpet cleaning, window cleaning. There are particular type of niche. So how do you get into this niche? That how do I know that I should get into this particular niche? Do Janpro tells us that you should take on this carpet cleaning or deep cleaning? You
Well,
know?
they offer classes on a lot of that stuff, and it's
Okay.
just up to you. It's
Mm,
you take those trainings and whatever fits you. Hey, you take a strip and wax class, and
mhm.
if you're like stripping, waxing floors, and that fits your business model, then
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, this is the niche that I need to get into. Um,
Okay.
I think one of the niches that we do is we offer our business to day porter positions.
Mm,
We were able
mhm,
to fill those. So that's a niche within itself. Window cleaning. If you like
mhm,
cleaning windows, that could be a niche. If you like carpet cleaning, that could be a niche.
mhm.
There's a lot of different things, pressure washing is a niche. There's a lot of different things that you could do to set yourself aside to say, hey, this is what I
Yeah.
specialize in.
Mhm, mhm.
So when Jan Pro looks for people to do that, they can reach out to you and say, "Hey, he's a subject matter expert in this area." You know,
All right.
so you know, but that doesn't stop you from cleaning buildings. It's just
Yeah.
like when it comes to specials,
Mhm,
you are the specialty, the subject matter expert in that field.
mhm.
Um, a lot of times, a lot of people won't do strip and wax. They don't like it. It's too
Mhm.
time consuming.
Full time consuming,
So
yeah.
it's only like a handful of people that will do it. So guess what? When those strip and whack contracts come available, they
Mhm.
only have 3, 4, 5 people that know how to do that. So that business goes to those people.
Mhm.
So that's the niche, like I said, when you specialize in a service, those are the niches that you want. Like a lot of people in Jan Pro, they don't have the time to go out and do day porter positions throughout the day because most of the Jan Pro franchisees are working through the day.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I'm not.
Okay.
I
Oh,
do this
okay.
full time. So I can employ people through the day,
To the
you
day.
know,
Mhm.
because a lot of people don't want to take on that. So
Mhm.
when it comes to day porters, you know, we're one of the few that can fill those positions.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Okay.
so yeah, just set yourself apart when you're thinking about cleaning. I know your wife is in the cleaning industry. What does she like to do within that cleaning industry? Does she like shampoo and carpet? You
Mhm.
know, that could
Yeah.
be a niche. Jan Pro has a lot of carpet cleaning contracts that come available,
Mhm.
to where it's a special where they're offering someone's another franchisee has a building that needs their carpet shampoo and they don't know how to do it. So guess what? They come to you
Mhm.
because you know how to do
All
So
right. All right. So what I understood is this is a separate from your general cleaning. The
yes.
general cleaning contracts, you will get that if the contract is there. And apart from that, if there is a certain specific specialized, like the way you said, porter and strip and wax and carpet, so they will call you if you have that specialization. Now my question is, Jan Pro does these classes, like specific classes like carpet
Yes.
cleaning and strip and wax. Do we have to pay extra for this specialized classes, or it comes included in a package?
Well, in our city, it's offered to us to help develop and build our business. So
Mhm.
it's once you join Jan Pro, those classes are offered to you to help you build your business. You don't have to pay for them, outside of you doing Jan Pro. They just say, hey, this weekend we're offering this class. Like they certify you in med metrics. To where you could
Yeah.
go clean in hospitals. You're
Mhm.
certified to do that. That's a
Mhm.
class that you might want to take. That helps you stand out when you're going into a medical facility and you could show a certificate to where you're certified to clean
Mhm.
medical facilities. So they're going to take you
Mhm.
above anybody that doesn't have that certification, you know.
Mhm. Okay.
So those classes are offered to you and they're offered, they're not like weekly classes or anything like that, but they come up like quarterly, maybe, hey, we're having a strip and wax class. Who wants to attend? You know,
Mhm.
and these are free of charge. Most of the time, Jan Pro will bring a representative in and they show you how to strip and wax. They show you how to carpet clean or how to get certified in med metrics. These are classes that are offered to you. So no, you don't have to pay for them, at least in our market. I haven't heard of anybody having to pay for additional training.
Additional training. Okay. And since me and my wife have planned to do this, so is there something that this business should be in a name of a certain, like in a certain person's name, or both in a couple's name? Like how does
But
that
you
go?
want to you want to have a LLC. You want to have a
LLC.
LLC created.
Yeah. Please tell me about LLC. I'm a little bit confused with that. LLC. How
Well,
does that go? I mean, yeah.
LLC is a limited liability company. It separates your personal liability from the
Mm-hmm.
business. So you won't be sued. But it actually help you legalize your business. I don't know about Edmonton. I've never been to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know, what the requirements for a LLC in your area or a business license in your area. That's something that you're gonna have to get with your master franchisees on and ask them, hey, what do you suggest I do? I always suggest that you get an LLC first. Get
First,
your
okay.
get your federal tax ID number and your LLC first And
Mm.
then once you start Jan Pro, get the proper certifications like a business license after that.
So before I meet my franchisee, master franchisee, I have to go and take this LLC federal tax ID number even before I meet with up my master franchisee. That's what you're saying, or
Not necessarily.
okay,
After you decide that this Jan Pro is what you want to do,
yeah,
after you
yeah.
sit down with your master franchisee and you decide, hey, this is the route I want to take, then I'll
Okay.
start setting that up. Once you start your training classes, before you get out of that training class, you want to have that LLC and that federal tax ID number already done so you
Mhm.
could legally go straight into business.
So Jan Pro is gonna help me in this thing, right?
Oh yeah, they should. They
They
should. They
should.
should. They should guide you on that. It's really
Okay.
simple.
Yeah. And what about the insurance, sir?
The insurance is provided through Jan Pro. If you know, uh that'll come out of your franchise fees.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Insurance. Okay. Federal. All right. And is there any other thing that I should keep in mind, like before meeting up my master franchisee? Because that is the first thing I will do as I reach
Yeah,
there.
the first thing you want to do is just meet with your master franchise, call and set up an appointment.
Mhm.
But like I said, you want to have a vision of where you want to go with this business.
Yeah.
That is the main thing.
That's the main
You
thing.
want to create a why for yourself
Mhm.
and your family. You
Yeah.
know, why do I want to pursue Jan Pro? Because
Mhm.
that why is going to help you. That why is going to help you maintain your vision with Jan Pro because it's not going to be easy. It's going to be
Mhm.
stressful. You're going to
Yeah.
want to quit.
Mhm.
You're going to want to quit. Me and my wife want to quit 1,000 times.
Then what
But
made
that,
you
but that
stick
why,
there?
that
Why?
why was strong enough. That
Yeah.
why was like, hey, I was working 16 to 17 hours as a government contractor overseas in
Mhm.
Kuwait.
Oh, you were in Kuwait.
Yes.
Oh, I was in Kuwait too. I was in Farwania. You know
Okay.
Farwania?
Now I've
I was
never heard. I
working
was I was
Farwania.
in Kuwait City. Yes.
Yeah, Kuwait City, Farwania. That's Kuwait City. You have Medan Havli. You know
Well,
Medan Havli.
I lived in
Where did you
uh
live then?
I lived in
Al Zaber Air Base, where the
mm,
American Canadian Air Base was. I worked there too.
I lived in what was the name of my area that I lived?
Near to the airport.
Pointed what was it? I lived close to Mabula.
Marbul, I know that. I know
Yeah, I
that.
live close to
The-
Mabula.
Yeah, there's a lot
Um,
of Bangladeshis also there.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mabula,
I know that.
the Far Hill area.
Far Hill, I know that. Yeah, it's very far. It's very far
Yeah,
from there.
yeah. So
Yeah, I know that.
I lived on the coastline. We
Oh,
lived
I
on the
did.
coast.
How long you lived there? I lived there for 10 years.
I lived for 4 years.
Okay, yeah, got it.
4 years.
That's it's very hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very,
it's
very,
very
very
hot.
hot. Yeah. So I work for the government there, and I could only come home 30 days out of the year
Yeah.
to visit my
Mm,
family. So
mm,
it was tough on my family. So that created a why for me. Once I stopped
yeah.
doing contracting, I didn't want to go back to work.
Yeah. I understand
So
that. I
I
can I
wanted
can
to,
know that now.
yeah. So I
Mm,
wanted to create a business that I could maintain and still receive the type of income that I was receiving as a government contractor. So that was
mm,
the why for me, you know. So that's why me and my
mm,
wife took it serious. See, we would when I came home, we didn't work anymore. We didn't work another job. We said that we were
mm,
gonna do Jan Pro or else.
mm. So
So
you
that
just
was the
gave
why.
your heart and soul in the business.
That was
And
the
the
why.
outcome, that definitely, the outcome will be good if you put every bit of things, I understand that, sir. All right. So, what is the best time to join Genpro?
As
Is
far
there
as
a best time to join Genpro or to buy a franchisee? Is there a best time?
and no, no, not really. I
There's,
mean, whenever so so the markets are different. So we know that the third and fourth quarter things
Mhm.
slow down as far as contracts.
Mm.
The first and second quarter, things are moving fast. People are looking to get new business. They're looking to hire staff and stuff like that because it's the beginning of the year. As you go towards the end of the year, you're having to file taxes and stuff like that or prepare
Mm.
for taxes.
Yeah.
So things do slow down. Contracts are less, you know, in the fourth quarter than in any other quarter because of that.
Mm.
So if you come in the fourth quarter, yeah, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of contracts until like the first or second quarter. Spring and summertime is when things pick up as far as contracts.
All right. So I'm going to the summertime,
Yes.
July. That's the
So
summertime.
yeah,
Okay.
you should be. We got
Mm.
started in July. We
Oh,
got
you
started.
just
Yeah, we
okay.
got started in July. So
Mm. Because that's a lot of time people go overseas, right? Go to their places, so they want their things to be cleaned, maybe something like that. All right, sir. So tell me something more about this FP5, sir. I think I have made my mind taking FP5 first.
FP5 is the smallest. The smallest.
The small. Yeah.
It's 2520 in our area. That's how much it costs to get started with
Mm.
Jan Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just helps you get your foot in the door. That's
Yeah.
all. It just helps you get your foot in the door. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you get your foot in the door, then you just, you know, you start building after that. So it just helps you get your foot in the door and it doesn't cost a lot. So if I got started with Jan Pro in
Mm-hmm.
2016 and I didn't like it, I would only be out of $2,500. You know, so that helps you just get in the door. But as you start creating your business or start building your business, then it starts to say, okay, yeah, I want to take on some more contracts, and I do have some more cash that I can pay these contracts off, you know, and keep growing. So that was our strategy. As we started getting those other smaller contracts in, we started paying them off in full, and we were able to see more of our money so it didn't seem like we were working for free, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that was just the strategy that we use.
Mm-hmm. So this FP5, that is the smallest one. The starter pack that we get, the equipments, that differ from package to package, like
No, no,
depending on the
no. Starter
quality.
package. The starter package just is the same throughout all the packages.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah. So now the starter packages, I believe, are $900. And that's outside of your FP5.
Hmm.
Um, so the starter package is an additional 900.
Okay.
When I came in, the starter package was included in
Oh,
in
okay.
in the
Hmm.
packages if you paid it in full. If you
Hmm.
paid it in full, it was included. If you didn't, if you financed your first your FP5, then it wasn't included. But it was included in ours because we paid it in full when we got started.
So we
But
have to
that, like I
insure
said, that was back in 2016 though.
2016. Okay. That I have to ask for the master franchisee.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that $900 dollar equipments, uh, I have to insure those things also, insurance, right? It's something,
Mm-mm.
yeah,
No, you don't have to insure that. It's just equipment.
it's just equipment. What if it breaks down, then I can get more, or I have to buy more from
No,
Janpro?
well, in your area, I don't know who they use to maintain like their equipment and stuff like that. We have somewhere that like, if we have a vacuum that goes out or something like that, we just take it to the shop and get it fixed. It
Mm.
doesn't cost very much. Um,
Oh,
but your equipment should last for the first few years. You shouldn't have to worry about anything
it's a
going
good
wrong
quality.
unless you're
Mhm.
unless you're mishandling the equipment. Yes, it's very good
Yeah,
quality.
very good quality. Yeah, I've seen these in videos, and even the chemicals are organic chemicals, something like that.
Um,
Organic.
some of them.
Some
It
of
just
them
depends
are.
on what brand you use.
Oh, All right. Yeah, I don't have any other questions because I've been watching your videos for the past 2 months.
Okay.
Subscribe to your channel. I came up with the video. Somehow I was scrolling down. I came up with the video and it was just written Jan Pro. So, I just take as Mr. Peril Fowler. So I started as the way you speak up and the way you tell people, it actually hits, in a positive
Mm,
way. It motivates. You're like a motivator, influencer. So I started making up small notes. The questions that I asked you, I already knew the answer, but I wanted to listen from your,
mm,
mouth, your style, So yeah, LLC. Yesterday you told to Lori also, Mrs. Lori from Kentucky. So I
mm.
was I was listening to all those things, and I don't listen to only one videos. I keep them,
Yes,
repeating
sir.
those videos again and again. Maybe I miss something.
Yeah.
So
And this is just a way for me to give back because I, me and my wife, we've seen so many people that got started with Jam Pro, and they're today they're so successful with the business. Some of these people are doing way better than me and my wife are doing. You know, and it's just a way to give back, to the community because I think that you hear so much negativity, about Jam Pro, and yes, there is some negative aspects of Jam Pro. There's some negative aspects in all business, you
yeah,
know. But how are you going to make your business successful? It all depends on you. At the end
it
of the day,
does.
it's not about my master franchisee. It's not about my operations specialist. It's about
Mhm,
what I bring to the table.
mhm.
What am I going to do to maintain my business? At the end of the day, that's what it all depends on. You. What's your why? Why do you do this business? Um, Block out all that negativity. Block out all the negativity. You're going to be successful because you know and you believe solely in your heart that you're going to be successful. And
Yeah,
once you put that belief in your heart, it's hard for someone to take it out.
yeah,
So
you're right.
that is a driving motivator for me. Jan Pro has truly blessed us. We are able to spend more time with our family, our children. Um, like I said, when I started contracting overseas, my son was 1 week old.
Oh,
One
okay.
week. So
Yeah.
I spent 4 years of his life contracting.
Mhm.
So I wanted to make up for that time that was lost, and I wanted to
Yeah,
to create a business that I could do it in. A lot of our time when we're working for someone else, we spend more time at work than we do at home. You
yeah,
know, and how do you buy your time back? That's the why for me. I want to buy
mhm,
my time back. I don't want to slave for money. You
yeah,
know, so those are the things that you know you hold on to when you thinking about building this business. You hold on to that why. You know,
mhm,
you want to buy your time back. And Jan Pro allows you to do that. It allows you to buy your time back.
yeah. So, it's a one very common question. My friend, which I talked to you about, he left from here 1 year back and is with Jan Pro, and then he's continuously telling me that, brother, you have one small car. I have a small SUV.
Mm-hmm.
To sell that car and buy a truck. Like
Mm.
that will help you in your business. So I don't understand what he's saying. Like, my SUV is not that small, but I have
No,
a small boot.
long
I
as you're
don't know.
able to transport the equipment.
I mean,
um
how big is the equipment? Like, I don't know.
It's not big. You just have a backpack vacuum and a trash can. But what I will say this, I will say once you start building your business out, you don't even have to transport your equipment because you can leave them at the sites, you know.
Okay, all right.
So
Mm.
a lot of those sites will have a janitorial closet that you could provide your leave your equipment in to what because you don't want to yeah, when you starting out, you may have to lug your equipment around, but as you get seasoned and as you start taking on different contracts, they're gonna have different. They're gonna have janitorial closets that you can keep your equipment in. Now, as you grow, you're gonna have to buy more equipment.
More, yeah. That's
You're
what
gonna
I
have
was
to buy
asking you.
more equipment
Yeah,
to put in those
yeah,
different closets. you know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but you could that's easy. That's really easy, you
Suppose I
know.
have like three contracts, permanent contract for 1 year. So I should have three set of equipments in those three places.
Yeah, I mean, if
Right.
well, I will say this: if you're okay with lugging your equipment around, then go for it. But with
Mm-hmm.
me and my wife, we didn't want to. We wanted to show up at the facility, and the equipment was already there in the closet, and
Mm.
all we had to do was roll it out. So that, like I said, some of that cash that you have, that's why I teach start with the FP5 because any other additional cash that can help you build your business out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's
it helps
yeah.
you build your business out. You need more equipment. You got the cash to buy the more equipment to put in those facilities to help you streamline your business. You
Mm.
know, so those are the things that you need to think about. Yeah, yeah, it may cost you, but the ease of the business. I don't have to lug anything. All I have to do is show up. It's there. You know,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I
the
understand your point.
chemicals
Yeah.
are there, the bottles are there, the trash can is
Mm.
there, the vacuum is there. You know, everything is there.
Mm.
All we have to do is show up and do the job.
Mm. Yeah, that answers my question. Yeah, I didn't know this part. I only thought you have to buy maybe second hand or whatever, truck, and that will
Yeah.
help
Oh
you
yeah.
because every time he is showing in his video, he starts his video by showing that he has this truck and he's taking out his, all those things, vacuum and
I did.
putting with his wife and then going with with the
Yeah.
truck.
Let me know what his YouTube is or not, so I can follow him.
He's a Filipino, and well, I don't understand Filipino, but I don't know his YouTube videos and he opened up his video like 1 year, 1 or 2 year back. He opened when
Okay.
he was here in Labrador. He has one son, and he's getting good. 1 minute. I can message you, right? I can message you
Yes. Yes,
afterwards.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Just message me with his YouTube page, and I'll follow him.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, sir. And the other question is about chemicals. How
Mhm.
often do I have to buy this? Do I have to buy from GenPro and can I buy from Amazon or how much it costs and what is suppose I buy a liter of ABC chemical. How long does it last for one contract?
It depends. So in our area, I can only speak about my area. In
Yeah.
our area, one like I told you before with the closet, the
Mm-hmm.
janitor's closet.
Yeah.
So in our area, we're allowed to put, long as your janitor closet has a water source, you're allowed to put a dispenser, a chemical dispenser in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that dispenses out the chemicals. Now, how often do you have to replace the chemical? Maybe once
Maybe
every other
once.
month, maybe once
Okay.
every other month. It lasts for a while, put it that way.
It's a
You
good
don't
chemical,
you're not
right?
going every week to use. If you're going every week to Janpro to buy chemicals for one building, that means you're using too much chemical.
Too much chemical, yeah. So they in the training also they tell us, right, how to use the chemical like
Yeah, that
half cap of 1 liter of water, something like
that
ratio,
correct,
the
correct,
right ppm per part
co-
million that we call in hotel industry ppm.
correct, correct.
Yeah, okay, all
So
right.
they'll walk you through all of that. And like I said, they do offer like dispenser services where they'll install a dispenser. In our area, it's completely free. We don't have to pay for that. All we have to pay for is the chemical. So the
Mm,
dispenser will be placed in the janitor's closet. So now when I come in and I need to mix some chemical up for my bottles, it
mm,
automatically mixes it for me. So it uses the right amount of water with the right amount of chemical. I don't have to measure anything out.
okay.
All I have to do is press a button.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things that's going to help you uh, streamline your business.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Putting
small
putting
things.
yeah, putting dispensers in your closets. You know,
Mm.
um, instead of having to carry around a whole bunch of
Yeah,
chemicals.
equipment. Yeah.
You know, so but that, like I said, your master franchisee, he'll explain all of that to you. He'll walk you through everything, and then he also helps you, teaches you if you want to mix your own chemical. He'll show you the proper way to do that as well. So
So how costly, what are the prices of chemicals at GenPro?
they're not expensive at all. I mean, it just depends on what brand you're using. We use a
Mm,
Spartan brand. It smells a little bit better
okay.
than the Ecolab brand. Ecolab is like a scentless smell, but most facilities they want to smell a scent.
Okay.
They want things to smell fresh. Well, with Ecolab, it doesn't have a scent. So a lot of
Mm,
times we were getting complaints when we started. We were using Ecolab, but we were getting complaints that it didn't smell clean, so they didn't think we were cleaning. You know,
okay.
but it
Yeah.
was scentless. So you humans are people, we're sense we smell. If it smells fresh, it smells clean, then we know it's clean.
It's
If we
good.
don't smell
Psychological.
it, yeah, exactly. So if we don't smell it, we know, hey, something's going on here. It looks clean, but it doesn't smell clean. So yeah, so
That's why Walmart has a lot of chemicals that smells very good. I don't know
but don't use
how.
Walmart brand. We don't use any
Yeah, no, I'm
residential
not
brand.
using that.
Yeah.
I'm just selling
Yeah, do not
uh,
use any residential brands, only commercial brands only.
commercial brands. Okay. All right, sir. Anything that you would advise me? Because I'm really, really wanting to do this, me and my wife, because that's a big city, Edmonton. My younger daughter is still too young,
Mhm.
and we have to do something for them before we leave this planet.
Yes,
Something we leave for them.
that's
You
correct.
know.
Yeah. Like I said, I think you have it. I think you have everything. Like I said, just make sure that you're, expressing that to your master franchisee.
Yeah.
Expressing your goals and your why,
Why?
to your
Yeah. Mhm.
and have them come up with a plan, a game plan for you. You know,
Mhm.
that's going to be the biggest thing for your success.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
That's all for today. It was a short video for you also to record,
yes,
but it's
sir.
nice to see you on this, video,
Yes, sir.
and it's nice to learn a lot from you. I'll
Well,
keep watching your videos. Keep posting your videos. I will
yes,
watch
sir.
it again and again. No problem. I'll keep
Yes,
watching
sir.
and watching.
I will. I've been this year has started off rocky because we've had some personal things going on as far as we had a car accident, so
Oh,
dealing with that with my wife and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to post a lot of videos, but
mhm.
now things are getting back to normal. So you will definitely see me posting more and more videos. Especially,
Yeah.
especially I wanna post videos of successful Jam Pro owners. So you
Yeah,
won't
sure.
just like hear it from me. You will hear it from these different successful owners that are building their businesses. Um,
Mhm.
so that's my goal for this year. It's just to reach out to people that have been, successful with the business, and bring on some more people. I may bring on some operation specialists and stuff like that to talk about the ins and outs of Jan Pro,
Yeah, yeah,
so you
yeah.
can hear that from them as well. So be on the lookout for some more videos. And I'm gonna bring back the chalkboard. I'm gonna bring out the whiteboard, and start writing up contracts and stuff like that, and breaking down contracts.
Okay,
So
that's nice. That's nice.
yeah, so we'll be doing some things this year.
I'm also watching your this thing real estate videos, and
Okay.
that's also very good, very nice. That's
Yeah.
that's the second part, which I also want to do. Second part, maybe
Yeah.
if I
Well,
get
real estate
some.
was our is our first love. I mean, we like turning ugly houses into pretty houses. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's our passion, and that's the power of Jan Pro has allowed us to do that. So
Okay. Hmm.
so yeah, so we do that as well. So
So apart from having a Janpro franchisee, they allow us to do something different also, like the way you're doing real estate. Because
yeah, I
sometimes if
mean,
you're having one business, you cannot do other business. That's something policy of
well,
the
no,
company.
not with Jan. Well, this is investments, so it's an investment. We hold and keep our own property, so they can't stop you from investing in yourself.
Yeah.
You're building the future just like they're trying to build a future. Now, if you're trying to do something that opposes, Jan Pro, they may question that, but
Mhm.
um, no, we haven't had any problem with investing in real estate.
Mhm. I like uh, I like these concepts. Like your wife says that you just take the real estate, turn it into a pretty house and sell it. Like what you call it in the US, flip and sale or something like that. Flip and
Yeah,
sale.
we don't do much of flipping. We normally keep a lot of our properties. We hold them as something that we can pass on as a legacy to our children.
Yeah.
So we used to do a lot of flipping, but we don't do it now because now we're thinking about all the pretty houses that we had that could be cash flowing for us, that could be paid off,
Yeah.
so you know we don't do that. We try not to do it. Now we will if we see something that's too good to be true, where we can make a
Mhm.
bang for the buck. But for the most part, we hold a lot of our properties.
All right, sir. Thank you for showing. And sorry for getting late, sir. I just dropped my wife to her company. I
No,
drive her to the work. And then
yes,
come
sir.
back.
Yes,
And
sir.
then yes, days are passing by, and I'm soon go to Edmonton and meet the master franchisee. My friends are also excited. My friends are also excited that I
Okay,
am joining Join Pro soon.
that's good. That's good. Hey, if you need anything, just reach out to me. I'm
Yeah.
always here. Um,
And can I have your email, sir, so that I can send you that?
it's the
Uh,
email that I've been emailing you. Just send
oh,
it to that
same,
email. Yes,
same
just
one.
send it to
All
that.
right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem, sir.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.